Siddur snippet is generously sponsored by the Saka family and by Yelad Avram Foreman. The final snippet on the 15th bracha is Tzemach Dovid Avdecha. We conclude the bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem, Matzmiach, Keren, Yeshua. There's a very interesting insight of the Avud Raham. And Rav Shamshon Fal Hirsch writes similarly, Sefer Anila Dodi quotes both, that we have three opening brachos of Shevach, of praise, three concluding brachos of Hodah, of gratitude. In between, there were 6 brachos at one time. Of course, the 7th was added. We have 12 brachos, the 13th was added, V'la Malshinim. But originally there were 12. And those 12 can be broken up in 6 and 6. And the first 6 of the Bakasha, the first 6 blessings of our requests and supplications, they are parallel with the next 6. And it's fantastic homework. You don't have to wait till long. You could just look in Mariv, how to line them up. The first 6 and the next 6, the middle 12 of Bakasha of the request. And if you line them up, what you find is that the bracha of V'li Yerushalayim Ircha corresponds with the bracha of Goel Yisrael. Because Yerushalayim and Geula, they go together. We long for redemption. Yerushalayim, the rebuilding of Yerushalayim, not only the physical, geographic Yerushalayim, the metaphysical Yerushalayim Shel Mala, that corresponds with Goel Yisrael. But that means that the bracha as Tzemach Dovid corresponds with which earlier bracha? Correct, Rifa'enu. As Tzemach Dovid goes with Rifa'enu. What do as Tzemach Dovid and Rifa'enu have to do with one another? The fact that the 6 and the 6 line up, they correspond and they overlap, there's a similar theme to the common denominator of both. So what does as Tzemach Dovid and Rifa'enu have to do? So the Avud Ram explains that the bracha of Yerushalayim is the beginning of a bracha of Geula for Yisrael. Refuah Shlema for Klal Yisrael comes only as Tzemach Dovid. We have the bracha of Rifa'enu as the individual. But as Tzemach Dovid, our hope and our longing for Geula, for Yeshua, for redemption, for the repair of the world, for Mashiach, to bring the peace and serenity, the hostages home, the soldiers' success, the hope and the tefillah of Tzemach Dovid is the collective national version of Rifa'enu. So it's another kavanah, another intent to have when saying this bracha. The same way Rifa'enu, we think of individuals who are in need of a refuah shlema. Same way Rifa'enu, we say the names of individuals who need a speedy and a painless and a full recovery. As Tzemach Dovid is the national, collective, communal people, the Jewish people. All Rifa'enu is as Tzemach Dovid, 6 and 6, and that's why they correspond with one another. But I want to leave you with this thought. A beautiful insight I saw in the Sefer Mei Marom of Yaakov Moshe Charlap has a Mei Marom al Siddur HaTfilah on the Siddur, and on this bracha he says the following. The longing, the yearning for salvation, for redemption, is not only about the future, it's also about the present. To wait, to want, to long for every moment. Every moment. So we want Mashiach. The song doesn't end. We want Mashiach in the future. We want Mashiach whenever he comes. We want Mashiach at the designated and appointed time. The song goes, and I know because I'm a general in Tzavos Hashem, we want Mashiach now. Mashiach, we know, can come in one of 2 ways. He could come be'ito, he could come at the designated time whether we're worthy or not. Thank you. Or he could come achishena, we can hasten, he can come earlier if in fact we are worthy. So who are we to daven? Matzmiach, Keren, Yeshua, in the present tense in the Lashon Hova. Who are we to say? We don't want to wait. We don't want to wait for Mashiach. We don't want some future time. We don't want some appointed time. We want Mashiach now. We want him today. The only way he can come today, the only way he can come now is what? If we're worthy. Says Rav Charlap Zatzal, Zchus Yigan Aleinu, says the Mei Marom, implicit in this bracha, asking and longing Hashem should bring Mashiach now, is a fundamental faith and belief in the worthiness of the Jewish people. Gamze Bechlal Tzipili Yeshua. We, when we say this bracha every day, we're not only offering a bakasha, a request to Hashem, bring Mashiach, we're saying, Hashem, I believe in our people. Even when it's hard, even when they don't give us a lot to believe in, even when it seems helpless and hopeless. The reason I can ask and demand, bring Mashiach, bring him now, earlier than the appointed time, is only when we're worthy, meaning implicit in my asking you to bring the Geula now is my belief in the worthiness of the Jewish people. Even if on the outside many Jews seem lost, on the outside many Jews seem non-observant, disobedient, rebellious, Nevertheless, b'pnimiuso, in our pnimius, every Yid is a big tzaddik. In the pnimius, every Jew is righteous and every Jew is worthy. And that's our fundamental belief. Unless imein makirim bekach. If we don't recognize the intrinsic, the inherent worthiness of the Jew, of the Jewish people, if we don't believe in the faith in the Jewish people. Lachen yesh lamek b'kedushasam sheYisrael v'omek zchusam shruyim em legeula b'chol sha'ah. And if a moment passes and Mashiach doesn't come, don't erroneously conclude, well, I guess we're not worthy. I guess we're a miserable for people. No, don't try to figure out Hashem's ways. So don't say, if he didn't come, we're not worthy. Say, I want him to come because I believe. Rav Soloveitchik Zatzal has a similar insight as the main Marom on the Rambam's principles of faith. It's in Ala Tshuva. And the Rav in Ala Tshuva says, how can we say one of the Ani Mamins, I have fundamental belief in the coming of Mashiach. Even though he hasn't come, every day I wait. Says Rav Soloveitchik, belief in Mashiach is belief in the Jewish people. It's belief in our fundamental worthiness. Belief we've got this, we can come together, we can be worthy, we can make it happen. That as discouraged as we can sometimes get and be from the reality of the Jewish people, never get too discouraged. When we say this bracha in closing as Tzemach Dovid, that last kavanah, my last suggestion, I think this is part 11, on a Tzemach Dovid, the last suggestion, the last kavanah is, not only do I believe in you, Hashem, and your ability to save us, I believe in us. I believe in our worthiness. I'm not giving up on Klal Yisrael. I'm not giving up on the Jewish people. I believe that we are worthy, and Amir Hashem, that will welcome Mashiach. We want Mashiach, and we want him now.